used to just standing around. How absurd.
おはようございます。ミットです。ミットの部屋モーニングラジオへようこそ。本日は2月8日木曜日でございます。皆さんお元気でしょうか？ So, welcome to mit morning radio in both Japanese and English version. Today is February 8th, Thursday morning here in Japan. So, let's enjoy together. はい、ということでですね、本日は、火曜日のね続きということで、カンの伝説任務後半ちょうどね、秘境のところで終わりましたので、そこからやっていきたいと思います。そしてですね、カンの伝説任務が終わったら、海灯祭のストーリーをねちょっとできるところまでやっていきたいなと思っておりますので、本日も今朝も皆さんねお付き合いいただけたら嬉しいなと思います。で、私の原神はですね両方とも、ボイスも字幕も英語となっておりますので、もしね、もうすでに伝説にもやったよっていう方とかね、英語バージョン聞いてみたいよという方はぜひぜひお付き合いいただけたら嬉しいなと思っております。ということで、早速ねやっていきたいと思います。私も回答祭が楽しみですので、でカンのね伝説にもすごくなんか泣けたっていう話を聞きますので、ちょっと楽しみだなと、ね、またムービーがあるんだろうなと思うので楽しみにしております。ということで早速やっていきたいと思うので、まずは BGM を切りまして、はい、で原神の方のを入れたいと思います。はい、多分大丈夫だと思うんですけど、ボイスだけちょっと上げて、もしねなんか音量ちっちゃいよとか逆に大きすぎるよっていうのがあれば、また適宜また、教えていただけたら嬉しいなと思っております。はい、じゃあこのメンバーね、カンウとシェンハなんだっけ神格神格とカンがカンにね会いに行ったから、残った理由への専任プラス、イエランは、移動要員と主人公っていうね、まあ理由へパーティーでやっていきたいなと思いますね。はい。
Perhaps it is now time for one to recount the rest of the tale.
OK、 行きましょう。何回もやってて思うけど、やっぱ伝説任務とか秘境凝っててめちゃくちゃ綺麗だよね。一人だった。
One was furious upon receiving your letter. Seized with anger, one set out to bring you to your senses.
ちなみに伝説任務だから35、2600、もちぶき、9貴族4、三突だよね。はいはいはい。そう、三突なんだよね。まだ一突してないから2回使えるのいいな、楽しみ。チャンピオンできんのいいよな。なるほど。おー、ワンシューイン。ここでボートに乗っていくと。
In truth, one had more than a few misgivings about your chosen partner. As an exorcist, his talent was lacking. One could hardly say his skill with sigils was any better. But soon, one came to appreciate the devotion he bestowed upon you during your illness. He never uttered a complaint and rarely left your side. Unwilling to begrudge someone of such character, one decided to overlook his aforementioned deficiencies, glaring though they may have been. Wishing to grant you a life without regrets, one gathered many divine ingredients and used one's own blood to create a form of medicine. Though imperfect, it managed to suppress the more dire effects of your illness. As for how to deliver the medicine, after much contemplation, one eventually decided to perform the deed oneself. One took great care to alter one's features and select the appropriate attire. Only after meticulous scrutiny did one finally set out for Wangshu Inn.
ひげちゃんと生やしてたんやね。
As one expected, you were most ignorant of one's true identity. You showed not even the slightest inkling of recognition. One was quite torn. Should one have celebrated the success of one's disguise, or mourn the loss of your acquaintance?
気づいてほしいような欲しくないようなって感じなんだろうね。うわあっちょ2回やりたいなって思ったらシンプルに落ちたわ。からがこう。
Nevertheless, one would speak to you about another matter, if you are amenable, even considering your loss of memory. One was simply flabbergasted that you could so easily forget the consequences of consuming medicine infused with adeptal blood. Its proclivity to attract monsters is hardly that complicated of a concept to remember. To think that you tried to travel while weak from sickness and heavy with child. Had one not intervened to clear the fog, all of you would have been lost during the night.
なんかもうひび入ってる。おう。だから雨降ってんのね。一人だもんね。こんな。これスキル放った後に後ろのなんか緑のところいやいやいやいやいや輝くのいいね。ほらほらほらおいこれやっぱり面白いよね。はい。惜しい。
Those monsters would hardly have pursued you with such ferocity without sufficient incentive. They were likely incited by the presence of godly remains. Said godly remains, in turn, were likely drawn to the trace of one scent on your body. One was, after all, an active participant in the Archon War. Some of the gods were likely shattered by contraptions of one's very making. In the end, one was relieved to see you endure through the night. At the break of dawn, one heard an infant's cry pierce through the air, and one saw you carefully cradle the child to your chest. Although certain mortal matters remain foreign to me, one could not help but be moved by your joy. To see you happy, that was more than enough.
本当にチェンユンなんか情のある人だよね。まあなんか仙人もそうだけど、みんなやっぱりなんかちゃんと、まあ、人、まあね、今回のね、今回のおばあちゃんは人じゃなかったとはいえ、懐に入れた人には情に熱いんやろうな。なるほどね。
Now you should have a complete understanding of the events.
Wait! But if that's true, then the crane who took care of me when I was sick must also be...
Ah, one had almost neglected to recount the absurdities of that tale.
Oh. Real ちょっとだけ街が変わっているのは当時の景色だからかな。どこまで行けんだろうこれ。あ、ここは行けないのか。
Just as you and I troubled one with her antics, so did you give one many a headache. Upon finding you burning with fever, one made plans to bring you back to one's abode for treatment. However, upon seeing one's form, you began to cry, refusing to get on one's back. When one asked you why, apparently you believed that one could not possibly be a true adeptus, because all illuminated cranes are white from tip to toe. One had no choice but to apply powder to one's body to conceal the variegated nature of one's appearance. You became more than amenable enough when one stood before you devoid of any other coloring.
めっちゃ努力してるやん。
It bears mentioning, however, that as a crane, Yuandai was nearly entirely pure white in color. Though you had never encountered her in that form, you still recognize the essence of her being. Perhaps fate brought you two together in more ways than one. Now all has been revealed. One owes you an apology, you and I. One recognized you upon your very entrance into Wanmin restaurant. One has always viewed you as a disciple of equal standing with Ganyu and Shenhe. Indeed, one wished to bring your story to a satisfactory end with this visit to Liyue Harbor. Still, one could not reveal your identity right away. Had one simply informed you of all you had lost, all those cherished memories would merely have become the fictionalized account of another. Memories are most meaningful when recalled by those who lived through them. Would you not agree? Even if the process was painful and arduous to experience. Have you any further inquiries?
Master, I must ask. If you found me all those years ago, why did you leave me be, even though you knew about my mistake? Why did you not bring me back to Mount Outsong by force?
One has never regarded your action as a mistake. It was a simple choice, nothing more. When it is time for one's progeny to leave the nest, it is the responsibility of an elder to let them fly free. Yet, when your wings grow weary and the night grows dark, just know that you always have a place to which to return. 'Tis a refuge referred to by many a name in mortal writing. Home, nest, haven. Whatever its denomination may be, its essence remains quite unchanged. One speaks, of course, of a place not unlike one's own abode. One's disciples are free to come and go as they wish, yet the door remains forever open to those who wish to return. One rather hopes you count yourself among them.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You and I. One expects you too have sensed the rapid deterioration of your condition as of late. Have you not? 40 years ago, you chose a path without a future. Though one used one's own blood to provide you with a few decades of extra time, it merely delayed the inevitable. One may have extended the path, yet one was unable to alter its final destination. Even the power of an Adeptus has its limits. Had your condition continued to deteriorate, you would have forgotten your life as a human entirely. In the end, you would have turned into a creature lacking in the ability to even comprehend its own monstrousness. Fortunately, you were able to avoid that scenario by reclaiming your memories. Though one sped the process along by providing some guidance, the result is entirely a reflection of your own effort.
So, what's gonna happen to Granny?
One will help her reclaim her original form as a wild crane. If it be fated, she may recover her sentience one day.
She's gotta go back to being a regular crane, huh?
Is there no other
Master,
way?
you've already done more than enough for me. I don't know how I could possibly repay your kindness. This is a better result than I could have ever hoped for. How much time do I have left?
Not long. The transformation is imminent.
Granny? Please don't leave, okay? You're all I have left. Please! Don't be sad, dear child. Granny has led a wonderful life. My only regret is having to leave you behind. Don't forget to eat well, okay? A growing young lady like yourself needs lots of good food to grow big and strong. Promise Granny you'll take good care of yourself when I'm gone. I promise, Granny. I'll do whatever you say. Good girl, good girl. Don't worry. It's not goodbye forever. Granny's gonna become the most formidable crane in all of Mount Outsung. Granny will train day and night. I won't stop until I can turn into a human without having to rely on anything but my own power. When that day comes, we'll be able to live together again. You and I. How's that sound? Good. That's a good girl. Even though we won't see each other for a little while, as long as we both work hard, we're sure to meet again someday. I'll eat well, Granny. I promise. And I'll wait for you, no matter how long it takes. I'll wait for you to come back. That's a good girl. Then Granny really has no more regrets. I'm so sorry, Master. Thank you for everything.
Xianyun.
Let her be. At her age, crying is a natural, if not fitting, response to such an event. Tears are a necessary part of maturation. Sometimes there is scarcely a better vehicle to wash away the toll of stress and misery. Now that the issue has been resolved, you should also take a moment to relax. Give yourself some time to rest. Take a nap if you must. One will wake you in due time.
believed we would see each other again, that our days of separation would finally end, and all my troubles would be behind me. If only things could stay this way forever.
A nightmare? Curious. If you're relaxed, shouldn't your dreams be pleasant?
It was a good dream. It's just...
You weren't ready to wake up. Eloquent as one may be, words of comfort are not one's strong suit. You are doing all you can. One can see your strength of will, your fearlessness in the face of danger. And so, whatever your dream may be, one believes that you shall achieve it. Of course, whenever the perils you face overwhelm you, or you become weary, one is always here for you. After all, as an elder, it is only right to look out for the young ones.
Grilled chicken drumsticks.
いや、めっちゃ泣くが。なるほど。なんか、情報番組で一部始終見たわ。イーサルとルミーンがなんか一緒にご飯食べてるところ見て、なんだあれって思ったら、これか。これだったか。幸せな夢だったのか。あの光景を我々はいつ見れるんだろうか。こういうことね。シンプルに涙が止まんなかった。失礼。パイモン。いい夢見てんな。
Was Paimon sleeping just now?
マジでママだな、カン。
Paimon wasn't talking to you. Paimon had a dream about eating grilled chicken drumsticks, that's all. Madam Adeptus? Oh, Xianyun, you're awake. How do you feel? I feel a little better. Thanks. I know I'll see Granny again someday, so I don't feel so sad anymore. Madam Adeptus, could I ask you something? Would you take me in as a disciple?
Oh, and have you reasons for this sudden interest?
I know Granny thought what she did back then was wrong. She felt really bad about it. But without that mistake, I would have never been born. Even though Granny lost her memories, she never forgot to show me how much she loved me. So, I thought maybe one day I could become a cool adeptus like you and help a whole bunch of people, just like Granny wanted to do.
Upon some reflection, one supposes you are no mere mortal, Fact that Yuandai's blood flows through your veins is proof enough of that. If this is what you desire, one shall make it so.
Thank you so much, Madam Adeptus. No, I mean, Master. Chuyu, are you sure about this? Paimon's gonna let you in on a little secret. We've seen Cloud Retainer's 2 other disciples, and they pretty much eat nothing but bitter herbs like chinchin and violet grass.
草しか食べれんくなる。
If you join them, you'll never enjoy Wanmin Restaurant's delicious cooking ever again.
カンはあれだよね。率先してダイエットしてんだよね。
How utterly preposterous. One has never enforced such a rule. Every individual must find their own path to enlightenment. So long as one retains a pureness of spirit, one's dietary proclivities are quite irrelevant.
Well, you say that, but Paimon's not seeing any tasty treats up here now, is she?
Although Mount Outsong is rich in natural beauty, its location does preclude access to certain finer mortal comforts. That is precisely why one plans to relocate to Liyue Harbor. Shu Yu shall have the honor of becoming one's first disciple in the human world.
Whoa, you're leaving Mount Outsong?
One has never concerned oneself with the location of one's residence. From the very beginning, one has sought only solace and peace. Yet in the end, all of one's disciples ended up in Liyue Harbor. Ganyu, Shenhe, Yuandai. They all chose a life among the mortal world.
確かにね。
One has reflected on this fact for many years now. One can only assume that it is due to some failing on one's part as an elder or master. A failing, perhaps, of recognizing what it was they truly wanted.
アダム・ピンもリユエでお茶飲んでるしね。
One is most curious as to what aspect of Liyue Harbor could have enticed them to remain there. One could hardly offer an opinion on the matter, but perhaps some time in the harbor will prove instructive. Why are you all so silent?
Paimon is, just a bit shocked, that's all. So, does this mean we can grab a meal together in Liyue Harbor sometime?
One has precious little time to squander. However, if one finds oneself otherwise unoccupied, one would not be opposed to the idea. One will be assuming the identity of a human while residing in Liyue Harbor. You should take care to avoid disclosing one's true identity.
Don't worry, we'll help you keep it a secret. So, when can we expect to start seeing you in the city?
Perhaps in 2 days' time. One has some matters to see to before one's departure. Preparation is the key to success, after all. One plans to put up various items from one's collection for sale. The earnings should provide for a comfortable living in Liyue Harbor. One has already picked out a handsome property near Chuhu Rock. 'Tis no small purchase, but what is mortal life if not one expense after another?
Seems like you've really thought of everything. Then how about we meet up in Liyue Harbor in 2 days?
A sensible plan. See you then. Oh, also, why don't you take this suspense insomnia mechanism as a souvenir? Anytime you should feel ill at ease in the future, you may try quieting your mind and sitting in meditation as you listen to its melodies. It might help you find a new perspective.
Awesome! Thanks, Cloud Retainer! Hey, didn't we promise Shincho that we'd tell him what we found out? Should we make a trip to the Feiyun Commerce Guild? It's totally up to you. So, about your move to Liyue Harbor, you gonna tell the other Adepti about it?
I have left an explanatory note in my abode. Those 2 old fossils will discover it, I am sure, should they come seeking my company. Considering their recent penchant for going off on private escapades, however, I find myself caring little for how they shall receive this news.
置き手紙だけな。ちゃんと知らせてあげて。じゃあ、新庄のとこ行くか。 チョンのところに行って、解決したよって教えてあげて、まだね。あ、でもタコ飛んでるね、もう。ショウはいるんでしょうか。あ、いる。顔見知りだもんね。チャオとシンチョ。やっほ。
We meet again, dear friends. How did everything go?
Great! And it's all thanks to you!
What story with Xianyun?
Ah, I see. So the stories didn't get it right after all. Even though she was a celebrated heroine, she had to bear a heavy burden that most could not hope to understand. Thank goodness for the help of that Adeptus. At least she was able to recover what she had lost. Although I cannot claim to know exactly how their story will unfold from here, I trust the ending will be a happy one. Those united in a common purpose always find a way back to each other in the end. Thank you for helping me fill in the gaps. And don't worry, I'll keep this all to myself. It's not my story to tell, after all.
I wonder if she can see the kites.
We meet
here
again,
from-
dear friends. How did everything go?
Great!
あ、
And
な
it's
るほど。一緒か。
Ah, I
Okay,
see.
okay.
Thank goodness for... Although I cannot... Thank you for helping me...
で、が待つと。が待って、day tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. なんかこれ、伝説にも終わったら、ユエンダイがどっかに出ると聞いて、どこだったっけな。なんか日中と夜で場所が違うらしいんだよな。会いに行きたい。Really, you have a to see, Xianyun. 大丈夫かな。配当祭始まったりしない？満眠レストランにいるのかな。
Take it easy.
満眠レストランっぽい。ん？こっち？お。
Your concerns are excessive and unfounded. This is but a simple collection of ordinary valuables. Such intense scrutiny is hardly necessary.
To be quite honest, your insistence on that fact is my primary cause for concern. In what way are any of these ordinary? Every single item here could be worth more than everything I own combined. I simply can't risk shelling out that kind of mora without proper scrutiny. If I'm wrong, I would never be able to earn it back, not even if I worked every single day for the rest of my life. I have to be careful. Yes, you can never be too careful.
We're here, Clow! Miss Xianyun, what are you guys arguing about?
Ah, perfect timing. This ignoramus is questioning the authenticity of my wares. I'll have you know, these items have remained untouched in my personal collection for several hundred years. To question their legitimacy is pure folly.
Several hundred years?
もう隠しきれてないんよ。凡人ということ。
Indeed. They're family heirlooms, you see. Passed down over many generations, as families are wont to do.
Yep, they've definitely been around a while. We can vouch for her on that one.
Hear that? Had I not found myself in need of Mora, I would scarcely have had the heart to part with them. Indeed, you should consider it an honor to even have the opportunity to behold them with your own eyes.
もう仙人ムーブかましちゃってるって。
Doubt their authenticity any further, and I may just decide to take them to another buyer.
Whoa, please don't go! I apologize for any insult, miss. You see, I know full well that I lack the knowledge to judge the true worth of these items. If you could wait but a moment, I've hired an expert to appraise them for me. He should be here shortly.
あれ、もしかして。
An expert, you say? Very well. I will wait for a little while longer then. Traveler, Paimon, this is my new residence. If you have cause to seek my company in the future, this is where you can find me.
いいところに家買うな。
Master! Oh, it's you two again.
おお。かわいい服着てる。すごい、かわいい。着せ。うん、ちょっとお揃い感あるじゃん。
Xianyun! You got a new outfit! It looks great on you. Mm-hmm. Master made it for me.
だよね。
I like it too.
かわいい。
Huh? You know how to make clothes?
服作ってあげるんだね。弟子たちに。
Do I know how to make clothes? With the support of the proper mechanism, sewing is hardly a challenge.
Master, I brought in most of my stuff. There's a few boxes left, but they're kind of heavy, so I just left them outside.
Fret not, I shall help you move them into your room.
Actually, I should probably sort through my stuff a bit first. Everything's kind of messy right now, so maybe you could not look yet, Master? Yeah, that'd be great.
It appears my young apprentice has her own fair share of secrets. No matter. Do what you must, child. Now, this expert you mentioned. When can we expect their arrival?
ちょっと期待しちゃう。そのエキスパートもしかして。
Soon. Ah, there he is.
もしかして。
Here, allow me to make some
Zhang Li!
introductions. This is Mr. Zhang Li, a well-respected consultant at Wangshang Funeral Parlor and an expert in all manner of valuables and antiques.
Definitely expert. There he is!
Mr. Zhang Li, this is Miss Xianyun. She's the one who's looking to sell the collection of valuables I mentioned earlier.
わかるだろうね、価値が。ああ。
Huh.
いや、まあそうなるよね。1000人たくさん住んでるからね。
Ah, if it isn't Miss Xianyun. It has been quite some time since our last meeting. What a serendipitous reunion.
Indeed, most serendipitous. Have you been faring well as of late, Mr. Zhangli?
Quite well, thank you. I was fortunate enough over the past few days to enjoy both a stroll in the mountains and a fresh brew of tea from the most recent harvest. The experiences left me with such insight and peace.
Huh. So you two are already acquainted?
Indeed. How fortunate we are that fate has brought us together again. If you are otherwise unaware, allow me to inform you that Miss Xianyun is a well-regarded collector and appraiser. She is well-versed in all fields, and oft-celebrated for her impeccable taste. You stand to gain much from this opportunity.
いや、こういうのめっちゃいいよね。伝説任務にいろんなキャラクター本当に出してほしいもん。
You are too kind, Mr. Zhangli. True collectors pride themselves on their wealth of knowledge and eye for detail. I can say without a doubt that you are foremost in that regard.
Why, you flatter me, Miss Xianyun. It would seem that you are as self-effacing as ever.
なんか主人公が我々と同じような温かい眼差しで2人を見ている。
Not at all, Mr. Zhangli. Not at all.
While I am loath to butt into this conversation, I must ask, you two already knew each other, and you seem to have quite a cordial relationship. Can I be certain that you're not working together to swindle me? I mean, you never know.
Huh! A preposterous accusation. The heavens themselves would collapse before we would conspire to do such a thing.
Miss Xianyun speaks the truth. Contracts are built on honesty and trust. If that proves to be beyond your capabilities in this instance, this transaction may be taken elsewhere.
Say no more. Let us depart.
I jest. What fool would still harbor doubts after Mr. Zhongli himself has vouched for the goods? Miss Xianyun, wait!
このパイモンかわいい。
I deeply apologize for doubting you. So, Mr. Zhongli, could you please give me a final verdict on the value of these items?
There is no cause for concern. They are indeed rare and precious valuables. Take this mechanism, for instance. Though one may not immediately perceive its purpose, its structure and appearance are exquisite enough to merit it a place in any fine home. The same can be said for this one here. Few could hope to possess an item that so perfectly blends mechanical wonder with geometric grace. I am sure you have heard from your travels that the study of mechanisms is among the most wondrous arts in this world. With that in mind, I earnestly recommend procuring every last item in this collection.
All right. Since I hired you as my consultant, Mr. Zhongli, I shall, of course, trust your good opinion. Then, in that case, Miss Xianyun, I'll take the lot. However, since the final sum is quite large, how about we start with an initial deposit through the Northland Bank?
The Northland Bank? Huh. Oh, you refer to the fiduciary house.
Fiduciary.
Oh, very well.
I fear people only use the term bank nowadays. In that case, I'll be off for now. I'll return to collect the goods once you've received the funds.
Zhongli!
My friends, have you been doing well?
We've been great! How about you? Paimon didn't know you were such a busy consultant!
My days have been quite pleasant as well. I had been quietly enjoying a cup of tea when Mr. Xiaozu requested my services. As for you, Miss Xianyun, I presume you must be looking to settle in the city?
I must say, the name Xianyun sounds exceedingly strange coming from you. Perhaps you could dispense of that particular epithet in further conversation.
Whatever for. Am I not addressing you as a friend should?
Well, that is true, but... Alas, refer to me however you will. After all, a name exists such that others may address you with it. One is hardly ignorant of that fact.
It would seem that you have gained many valuable insights over the years, Cloud Retainer.
One has indeed. One's previous days were all brief. Now that one has made up one's mind to move and settle, one has gained a much better appreciation of the hubbub and commotion of the city, as well as the people's hard work and ardor. This city is much changed from how it was more than 1,000 years ago.
Not unlike the ocean tides, so too shall the movement of people ebb and flow. From turmoil to peace, enlightenment to aspiration. Human society possesses limitless potential. In another 1,000 years, the scene we witness here may change in ways that are impossible for either of us to imagine.
Alright, that's enough reflection for one day. No need to get all sentimental on us.
You make a valid point, Paimon. Now that the sale has concluded, what say one plays the host as we try some specialty dishes together? One must profess great interest in trying bamboo shoot soup.
Oh.
Perhaps you have forgotten, Cloud Retainer, but I once tried my hand at that dish. You were at the table on that occasion, so logic dictates that you should have already tried it.
Oh? What occasion was this?
It was a reunion between friends several centuries ago. Alas, you must have been too preoccupied to secure yourself a portion. Or perhaps our other companions simply availed themselves of faster reflexes on that occasion.
なんか数世紀のことだからね、仙人たちは。
Hardly. 'Twas most certainly out of consideration for the others in attendance. In but a moment, one will show you what it means to have a true deftness of hand. It is settled then. Bamboo shoot soup, mora meat, crab roe tofu, triple layered consomme. We shall enjoy the lot. One has already passed word to Xianyun Ganyu to make a reservation. It is prime time for them to meet one's newest disciple. Is that agreeable to everyone?
It should be a most splendid occasion.
Thank you so much, Cloud Retainer.
Yu, come now, it is time to dine. Ah, this gentleman over here is Mr. Zhang Li. He is,
A humble employee of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Nice to meet you too, Mr. Zhengli. That should be everyone, right? Let's go! Sounds good. Actually, Master, have you ever tried Adeptus' temptation? I heard it's impossible to stop eating after even just one bite. You know, 'cause it's super tempting and stuff. Is that true?
It is true.
That sounds rather implausible. Although with the right preparation, certain dishes can be too delicious to resist.
Huh? Why are you all walking so fast? Hey, wait for Paimon! Hey, wait up!
Oh. いや、よかったわ。よかったな。いや、伝説任務どれもめっちゃいいけど。あ、なんだ。It seems like a book of accounts. A letter can also be found. Little you, my dear daughter. By the time you read this, Mommy and Daddy will have already left to go on a long journey. Your granny may get a little forgetful sometimes, so try to jot down little reminders for her around the house whenever you can. And Daddy are counting on you to take care of Granny while we're gone. You might be wondering why Mommy and Daddy have to left. Well, my dear daughter, in this world, everyone's got sometimes that they just have to do. So your Mommy and Daddy are no different. Did you know Daddy was actually awful sick as a child? How sick, you must ask? Well, even the doctor could barely feel Daddy's pulse. It was that weak. But Daddy still managed to grow up. Looking back, there were many times when Daddy thought he might not make it. In the end, though, Daddy pushed through every time. Pretty amazing if you think about it. Maybe Daddy is just really lucky. Oh, who knows? Maybe he has some super powerful adapters looking out for him. Either way, Daddy has always felt like he's received a lot of love from this world. And you know what? Daddy loves this world right back. They told Daddy that the mission would be super dangerous, but both Mommy and Daddy decided to sign up. You'll have grown up quite a bit taller than next time Mommy and Daddy see you again. Maybe you'll be so big by then that Mommy and Daddy won't even recognize you. How about this? Let's use a code. Do you still remember that one face Daddy taught you when you were little? That can be our secret code the next time we will see each other again. That way, we'll recognize each other no matter what. You remember it, don't you? While the Miller stand guards, evil shall never prevail. While the Miller stand guard, evil shall never prevail. Mm. でみるか。アウトさん。どこだろう。ちょっと下っぽいところだったんだけど。
Boring, useless.
ああ、よかったな。 泣いたわ。どこだ？どこにいるんだ？ここ600もら場所じゃん。なんか夜この辺にいるんだよね。夜にしてみよう。夜確かここだった気する。よく探すよな。よく見つけるよ。検証班というのか、探索班という。あ、いた。A special looking crane. Crying before you is gazing far into the distance. Who knows what she's thinking about right now and how well her cultivation training is going. .comいやー、よかった。よかった。よし、ちょっとあと30分ぐらいしかないけど、配当祭いけますか。なんか、どうしよう。デイリー始まっちゃいそう。でも話しかけなければ大丈夫。配当祭。多分最初の触りぐらいしかできないかもしれないけど。お、もうシャーロットいるじゃん。
And Charlotte! I never thought she'd see you two together.
Nice to see you again, Traveler and Paimon.
クーチン。
Oh, we're not interrupting anything, are we?
Not at all. I wasn't in the middle of an interview or anything. I was just asking Miss Kuching about purchasing a kite.
あ、シャーロットいろんな国に出てくるんじゃないかな。
A kite? Are you buying some regional specialties to bring back to Fontaine?
Well, yes. And
It seems you haven't heard yet. The theme of this year's Lantern Rite is kites.
Oh, so that's why Paimon has seen so many floating in the sky.
Liyue Harbor is always changing, so it is only fitting that Lantern Rite should change in turn. The Qixing believes it would benefit Liyue to build on our own cultural foundation by embracing the technologies of other nations. After all, it is said that the stones of another mountain may serve to better polish one's own jade.
yeah, remember my business meeting with Tianquan Ningguang the last time I was in Liyue Harbor? That's what it was about.
なるほど。
But all I really did was use my network to introduce Lady Ningguang to some interesting people. I'm not sure that quite counts as fostering cooperation.
In the end, we decided to combine Liyue's traditional art of kite making with Fontaine's mechanical vertical lifting device.
コラボしてるじゃん。
Mechanical lifting device? Sounds pretty impressive. But don't kites just use the wind to fly? Why would you need to add something mechanical?
Well, you've actually just answered your own question, Paimon. How high and far a kite can fly depends as much on the weather conditions as on the skill of the person holding the string.
But as soon as there's no wind, you can only flail about helplessly like a sweet flower medaka out of water. Experience doesn't matter at that point.
Exactly. Liyue is now a nation ruled by humans after all. It's about time we had the power to make a kite fly, don't you think? Plus, the easier we can make it to enjoy, the more people will want to participate.
Sounds awesome.
Right? I also thought it was a novel idea. Plus, it shouldn't cost much to do.
With Miss Charlotte's help, everything has gone smoothly. Our new mechanical kites are already available to purchase from a stall in the harbor. We're having trouble keeping up with demand. We also gave quite a bit of thought to the price. We didn't want it to be too much more expensive than a traditional kite.
Cool! Turns out you two and Ningguang like playing with toys just as much as Paimon!
Toys? They're not exactly toys.
You see, Miss Kuching? That does seem to be everyone's first reaction.
Although kites are one of our most time-honored cultural relics, outside of their use in certain ceremonies, I suppose they're considered playthings more than anything now.
まあ歴史的背景を知ってればこそだよね。
But to me, there's so much more than that. Think for a second about how remarkable it is that a flimsy paper kite attached to a string has the capacity to touch the sky. It is this slight piece of paper that also carries the weight of Liyue's cultural traditions. There's an old poem that goes, "O kite born of paper, flying true in sound, a lone traveler wanders, just waiting to be found." In the past, poets from Liyue used kites to symbolize a feeling of longing, or evoke the peacefulness of idyllic rural scenery. If the people of today can derive enjoyment from this activity, they will not only be more likely to better appreciate the tradition, but also to pass it down to the people of tomorrow.
That's the Kuching we know, always thinking 5 steps ahead of anyone else.
Well said, Miss Kuching. I've learned quite a bit myself.
As long as you're willing to listen, I'm happy to share. I also know quite a lot about the various folk traditions related to kites. For example, whenever a kite blew away, people would say it was the Adepti that summoned the wind to take it away as an offering. That way, you can turn an unfortunate event into an auspicious one.
こういうのってお祭りだよね、やっぱ。あと、仙人がいるリーウェならではというかね。
What about something more fun? Do you know anything like that?
More fun. Let me think. Oh, I suppose we should first talk about how kites are made. It's another one of our precious forms of traditional craftsmanship. My grandfather told me that back when he was a boy, children learned the art of kite making step by step from their elders. First, you use the thin strips of bamboo to construct the frame. Then, you draw a design of your choice on a piece of paper, paste it onto the frame, and tie on the string. Then, you look towards the sky and release the kite to soar among the clouds. Some people write down certain names or desires on their kites, cut the string, and let them fly free. Others may place particular thoughts or meaning into the design itself.
ランタンをあげるときもね、なんかこう、願いを書いてランタンあげるとかもあるしね。
Are certain designs associated with certain meanings? I'm gonna jot all of this down.
Well, for example, kites in the shape of a butterfly typically symbolize freedom, happiness, or the desire to break free.
Fascinating. What else can you tell me?
The scissored-tailed swallow is the most classic design. It symbolizes good fortune and joyful tidings. Different colors also have small variations in meaning.
Are these commonly understood meanings and symbols in Liyue? Kind of like the language of flowers in Fontaine.
フラワー、なるほどね。フォンテインは花言葉があるんよね。
I believe so. Most have probably heard something about it from their elders at some point. If you're interested, Miss Charlotte, I have several books on the topic that I could lend you. They could be a useful reference.
もしかして。もしかして。
That would be a huge help! Great! Looks like I've got the outline for quite the article on my hands.
Topic as well.
Perfect! We're gonna take a look around.
Then I'll show Miss Charlotte to my home for a little while. I almost forgot. The Ministry of Civil Affairs is hosting a kite flying contest on the night of Lantern Rite. If you're interested, you're more than welcome to bring a kite and participate. The rules are simple. Whoever flies their kite the highest and furthest within the time limit will receive a special honor along with a secret prize.
これ作るのかな？
I've already prepared more than enough empty film for the event. I can see the spectacle already.
Oh, Paimon was on board the moment you said secret prize.
Then I'll look forward to seeing your performance.
You bet! See you then!
さっきのおじさんたち気になるよ。
Wait, Traveler? Take a peek to your right. Do you see those two people lurking over there?
I
Is
see
it
them.
just Paimon? Or were they staring at us the whole time we were talking to Kuching and Charlotte just now? They seem fishy. Great, so it wasn't just Paimon. Do you think they could be treasure hoarders? They always seem to be stirring up trouble during Lantern Rite. Oh, Paimon's sick of waiting around for something bad to happen. We should strike first, you know. Foil their plans before they even begin. You go right, Paimon will go left.
X でちょっとだけネタバレっぽいの見たんだよな。このおじさんたちに関する。
Oh. It is with such an air of urgency that you appear before us. Your comportment suggests you believe us to have committed some heinous crime. Perhaps you could enlighten us as to your intentions.
Whoa, where did this fuddy-duddy come from? You should be the one doing the enlightening, buddy. Don't think we didn't notice you eavesdropping. One look and we could tell you were up to no good. Tell us everything, starting with your name.
One bears no secrets before two such as yourselves. You stand in the presence of the mighty and illuminated Adeptus, Moon Carver.
おじさん
For the purpose of this foray into the mortal realm, however, you may address one as Hojong.
You kidding? That deer's got his head stuck so far up in the clouds, there's no way he'd humble himself down here with the rest of us.
You may want to hold your tongue, Paimon.
Don't think that Paimon is gonna believe you just because you know her name. Let Paimon guess. You're supposed to be Mountain Shaper, right?
Indeed. Mooncarver and myself have descended upon the mortal realm for a visit. The two of you may call me Jiahu.
ジェフ。ちょっと若い。
Huh. Looks like you did your research. But in our experience, the harder you try to lead us on, the more likely it is that we've got a big fish on our hands. We'll go straight to the Millilith and have you arrested for impersonating a death guy.
確かにちゃんと色とかはね、なんかちょっとだけモブとは差別化がされているような、いないような。
Preposterous! Utterly preposterous!
Perhaps you can prove it?
Right. Tell us something that only an Adeptus would know. And it better not be some common knowledge that any person on the street could tell you.
During the last Lantern Rite, we gathered at Mount Hulao with Rex Lapis and made use of Cloud Retainer's supreme cuisine machine to prepare bamboo shoot soup. Perhaps you have some recollection? The flavor of that soup was more than enough to whet one's appetite. As such, Cloud Retainer assented to my use of the device beyond that singular occasion, providing other recipes to boot. Since then, one has dabbled in the pleasures of the culinary arts whenever time allows.
打ったもんね、ジョン・リーと一緒にバンブーシュスープね。
Dabbled? Upon one's last sojourn to your mountain, Did you not immediately attempt to hide the device behind a chunk of amber as soon as one's presence was known?
かわいい。かわいいんだけど。
Did one not speak up on your behalf but a moment ago? This is how you choose to repay that kindness?
One is simply trying to emphasize the veracity of our claim.
That does not mean you should reveal personal matters so readily. They might think one bears no difference from Cloud Retainer. Forget it. One does not have the breath to waste on such petty trifles.
I suppose they really are the Adepti.
That might have been more detail than we needed. Seems like you two are the real deal, and Paimon's sorry for suspecting you. But, for beings as forgiving as yourselves, this is just water under the bridge, right?
Take it as a compliment to the quality of your disguise.
You indeed have an agile mind. Cloud Retainer was not mistaken in her high estimation of you.
Paimon's still curious about something. It's just, Paimon can understand why Mountain Shaper is here, but why did you decide to come to the city, Mooncarver? It's not really your thing, is it?
It is but an inevitable eventuality. Long have the mountains remained strangely idle since Cloud Retainer's move to Liyue Harbor. With Lantern Rite near at hand, one would expect Cloud Retainer to provide us with an account of the festivities in advance. Yet to this day she has failed to appear.
Cloud Retainer is hardly the forgetful sort.
One must never rest idle in the face of that which demands action. And since our acquaintances dwell in Liyue Harbor, we had to travel here in human form to avail ourselves of their aid, Cloud Retainers in this case.
なるほど。
But a moment ago, one heard you speak of a mechanical kite of sorts. It appears the essence of the situation has hitherto revealed itself. Now it is time for one to retire back to one's abode.
Huh. So, you're not looking for Cloud Retainer anymore?
Perhaps there are aspects of Cloud Retainer's temperament that remain opaque to young Paimon. Given one's understanding, one can only imagine the anger that now consumes her.
Cloud Retainer is of a proud and arrogant disposition. She holds the belief that her skill in mechanics surpasses that of all others. One can be quite certain it is hardly with an open mind that she regards the arrival of this new technology.
One surmises that she has shut herself away, refused all company, and buried herself in the study of her own creations. To call on her would only invite her rebuke. However, if you do happen to cross paths with her over the next few days, do pass along one's regards.
Sure, leave it to us. Have a safe trip back, enjoy the scenery, and happy Lantern Rite!
Thank you for your kind words. We shall now depart.
We got all worked up for nothing, huh? All that trouble and it turned out to be people we knew all along! Well, it's still pretty early. Let's head over and check out the kite stalls. Paimon wants to see what kinds of kites we can buy to use in the competition. The bigger and prettier, the better!
Got it. タコ見よう。
Welcome! Are the two of you looking to buy a kite? Would you like me to go over the different designs?
Ooh! A scissor-tail swallow! And a butterfly! And
This jade chamber design is our newest. It's been selling like crazy over the past 2 days.
おー、やっぱみんなね、ジェイルチェンバーね、落とさないように気をつけてくださいね、これね。
Does it also have a unique meaning?
Of course. The jade chamber symbolizes wealth and abundance. The kite bearing its design is said to bring riches in the future to those who fly it.
なるほど。
Oh, now that's Paimon's kind of kite!
I apologize for the interruption, but are all your wares in order, Miss Xianyun?
Yes, they're just over there. The paper, bamboo, and dyes. All the necessary kite-making materials.
Wonderful! I'll pack them up and get a guard to deliver the goods to Yilong Wharf for you.
Yilong Wharf? Oh, wonder what that place is like during Lantern Rite. Paimon would love to go take a look.
Well, if the two of you are interested in going to Yilong Wharf, then could I trouble you to find Gaming and deliver these goods together?
お、出た。
Is Gaming the guard you just mentioned?
Well, yes. The communications office handles shipments and transports around Liyue. He works for the Secure Transport Agency, one of our sub-organizations. The problem is, many of my colleagues have taken leave during Lantern Rite to spend time with their families. So, our available workforce has seen a dramatic decrease recently. If you were willing to help out, then I could get a head start on my next appointment.
You do seem really pressed for time.
We'll help.
Oh, wonderful! You will, of course, be compensated for your efforts. Now, at this time of day, Gaming should be somewhere in the vicinity. Just follow the main road until you see the head of a Wushu dance costume. Should be on your right.
Be sure to come back if you'd like to buy a kite. I'll even give you a discount.
出す。ディスカウントくれるんや。ガミン、ガミン。お。
Wait, I thought we had an agreement. Loser buys dim sum tomorrow? Look at you. Scowl like that for much longer and your face might stay that way. Hey now, don't be upset. How about this? You extend the invitation, and I'll pay.
No way, Gaming. You're always the one picking up the tab. I'm not trying to be a sore loser. I just didn't expect you to come from behind to win like that.
That was nothing. All in a day's work, friend.
ガミン。
Perfect, Gaming is here. Sorry to interrupt, Gaming. We just spoke to a guy from the communications office who needs you to deliver some goods to Yilong Wharf.
Oh, that must have been Longzhou. Looks like I've got work. Gotta go.
Sure, go do your thing. Let's have a rematch when you get back. I won't let you win so easily next time.
Alrighty, you can hand the goods over to me. Must have been heavy hauling them all this way. Let me take them off your hands.
It wasn't that bad. It's just some kite-making materials. Plus, we didn't have to walk very far.
Kite-making materials. I see. I'm glad it wasn't too much trouble, Paimon. Still, I owe you one. Ah, and you must be the traveler. It's nice to meet you. Thanks for your help.
Huh? You know us?
There probably aren't many in Liyue who don't. I've heard quite a bit about you two. You're quite well known around these parts. Oh, and please excuse Longzhou if he forgot to thank you. Take my thanks in his place. He's a good guy. He's just been super busy lately, running around from place to place. Don't be too hard on him, yeah?
No worries.
So, you here for Lantern Rite?
Yep. It's always so lively this time of year. We were actually hoping we could tag along to Yilong Wharf and have a look around.
Perfect! We'll go together then. I'm good with directions, so just follow me. Trust me, I know my way around. We can exchange stories, tell jokes, or just chat along the way. Oh, and there are a couple of good places to eat along our route. We can stop and grab a bite when it's time. The ingredients are fresh, the portions are generous, and the prices won't break the bank. You can order anything, and I promise, you won't be disappointed.
Order anything? Hey, did you really have to call Paimon out like that in front of our new friend?
Don't worry, I understand. I joke around like that with my friends, too. It just shows how close you are. Do you need to pack anything up before we hit the road? I can wait.
Nope, our things are always packed and ready. We're pretty much travel experts at this point.
Oh, that's right. Then let's get going. If we run into any trouble, you can count on me to protect you. I am a guard, after all.
Oh. いいね、始まりましたね。これがストーリー。かわいい。 これランタン。おお。はいはい。はいはい。あ、これでもうミニゲームが解放されていく。これがこれがミニゲームか。で、これで取れるようになると。早く欲しい。If reaches 600。うま。画面どっちか。上か？え？なるほどね。こっちですね。
Ooh, the docks are just a bit further. One step at a time. Hang in there.
おー。
Wait, get behind me.
はいはい。はいはい。
I'll handle this.
Quietly now.
せっかくだから頑張って。
Alley-oop.
Busted.
Up to it, Manzai. Yeah.
ナイス。
Seems like we really can't go anywhere without running into treasure hoarders, can we?
僕が似合うね。色的に。
Yeah, it's not uncommon for deliveries to get intercepted. That's why this job needs guards like us.
Paimon was impressed by your moves back there. You seem like a real pro at your job.
Oh, that's not a skill I learned on the job. It's just a hobby. Have you ever heard of wushu dancing?
Wushu dancing.
Really? Wushu dancing is famous in Chunyu Vale. Performers might be invited to promote the opening of a business or to spread good fortune during a holiday season. But I must admit, it has nothing on the popularity of the Liyue opera. I'm also well aware that people in Liyue Harbor aren't exactly jumping at the chance to watch wushu dancing. So, it's not something I do full-time.
Huh? You have 2 jobs? How do you have the energy to do all that?
It's not that tiring. You just have to take a rest.
Paimon gets it, so you must sleep a lot then.
Not really. Just yesterday, I stayed up all night playing cards.
Oh.
Let's go. The docks are just up ahead.
確かにね、リュウエハーバーオペラあるしね。原神みたいなね。
Finally, we can rest. Ooh, Paimon's shoulders are so stiff. And her stomach so empty.
Sorry. Did I push the pace a bit too much? I mean, you were the ones who said you were travel experts.
Weal is just too hilly. Floating up and down so much. Where's Paimon out? Oh, Paimon was finally satisfied and now her poor stomach's empty again.
Aw. Would you like some winter melon cake? I have some on me that I bought from a store.
Winter melon cake? What's that?
Paimon will take all you got.
You might want to pace yourself there, or you'll be too full to eat a proper meal later.
Paimon never gets too full. Just like you apparently never get tired, no matter how far you walk or how many
挑戦ありま
jumps
す
you work.
挑戦ありました今。
Ah, I see. Then here you go, Paimon. And for you, traveler. Enjoy. And here's some for you too, Uncle Bosu. Don't think I forgot about you, my friend. I'll just set it to the side here for you.
A real people person.
That hit the spot. Paimon thought she was going to starve to death for a minute there.
That close of a call, huh? I've been eating wintermelon cake ever since I was a kid. You can buy them from all sorts of places, whether it's a small vendor on the side of the road or a big restaurant in the city. But each place produces cakes with a slightly different flavor. If you like these ones, I can give you the address of the shop I bought them from. I'll just have to check when we get back. Oh, all my jabbering must be making it difficult for you to enjoy the scenery in peace, huh? Don't be afraid to tell me to zip it for a little while, okay? Really, I won't be offended.
It's okay. Paimon is kind of enjoying listening to your chitter-chatter.
Aw, a fed Paimon is a happy Paimon, huh?
Hey, Paimon can be in a good mood anytime she wants.
Read your surroundings right before you know it, you'll read it.
Woohoo! We're here!
Don't forget your things, and watch your step as you get off the raft, or you're in for a swim. Thanks for the ride, Uncle Bosu. You take care of yourself now. I'll see you some other time. Okay, follow me. This way is fastest. We'll have to take the elevator up to the secure transport agency.
曲いいな。茶摘みしないとな。ウォーターメロンケーキってここで売ってたっけ？ないな。いいケーキが売ってたのね。あれ？エレベーターどこ？テレポートすっか。
Hey! Slow down. I'm begging you.
What is it? No one's gonna try any funny business when the street is this packed, right?
Oh, well... how should I put it?
Come on, spit it out!
Do you see that group of people over there? Those are my relatives.
Wow, you sure have a big family.
めっちゃいる。
Once they start buying things, they won't stop perusing till it gets dark. This is bad.
They're your family, not your arch enemies. What's there to be afraid of? Unless... Oh, did you do something horrible to them?
No, it's not that. I'm just not that good at dealing with my family. It would be best if we could steer clear of them. I'll explain more when we have the chance, but right now, we've got a job to do.
And we'll just have to sneak past them. Okay?
The left side looks pretty packed. Let's go straight. Slow and steady wins the race.
じいちゃんばあちゃんを避けてあそこにもいる。
Let's wait here for a second. Maybe my aunt will leave.
おっとね。
She's gone. Let's go.
Hello, dear guests. Is there any... Turn left. Run! To the right and...
あ、こっちね。
Wow, you guys are good. I'm impressed.
That was nothing. It was a piece of cake. Oh, winter melon cake to be exact.
You really liked it, huh? Ooh, you know what? I'll buy you a whole bunch and pile them so high you can swim in them.
As long as you don't wind up drowning, Paimon.
Hey, Uncle Drugway. These are my friends, the Traveler and Paimon. They came to deliver some goods with me. So, I guess I'll go ahead and take these over to Uncle Yongzan then?
Yes, thanks for your hard work. I should thank you both for your trouble as well. Please take a seat and rest for a bit. I'll prepare some tea.
No need. We'll be off soon anyway.
Hey, we're already here, aren't we? No harm in taking a load off for a bit. Plus, I know the Secure Transport Agency has some great Songhua tea stashed around here somewhere. I promise you, one sip and you'll be hooked. Anyway, you just sit down and relax, Uncle Drugway. Who would I be if I just sat here and let you go through all this trouble? Leave this to me. I have to be up and about to drop these goods off anyway. What's a little extra time on my feet? Oh, you aren't too picky, right, Traveler? I know Paimon prefers things on the sweeter side, so I won't steep the tea too long. And I'll add some dim sum pastries on the side.
やったー。
Aw, you noticed what Paimon likes?
How long have you two known Gaming?
Oh, not long at all. We just kind of tagged along on his trip to Yulong Wharf. He's just a super welcoming guy. We became friends. You know, just like that.
That's just how he is. He's the attentive sort. Really knows how to look after his own. A while ago, one of our guards had to take off work. Said his joints were hurting due to the rain. Gaming personally went all the way to Boo Boo Pharmacy to get some medicine for him from Dr. Baiju, then traveled through the night to deliver it back to him. That young man has such a good head on his shoulders. How can anyone not love him?
結構遠いよね、ブーブーファーマシーから。
I mean, there is his dad, but, well, ask anyone else, and...
Uncle Yongzan says he doesn't have the personnel to spare for this delivery right now. So what do you think, Uncle Drugway? Should I go ahead and deliver it instead?
It feels like we've troubled you enough already.
It's kite-making materials, though. Could be for a kid. I'm sure the sender wants it delivered before Lantern Rite. Oh, by the way, here, have some tea.
All right, then. Deliver it if you want to.
Ooh, are you free in 2 days? How about we grab some dim sum from Xianyun kiosk? My treat, and don't even think about trying to pay.
Whoa, that's way too generous of you.
Don't mention it. Just think of this as a thank you for all your help. Besides, the thing between me and my family, it's a long story. It might take some time to tell.
Sounds good. Paimon never says no to free food.
You are seeing your
All right,
kids
then I'm off. See you in 2 days. Oh, and Paimon, make sure not to eat too much before then. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Is he underestimating Paimon? She's just gonna have to show him how much she can really eat. Anyway, is Gaming's family situation really that complicated? He has such a happy-go-lucky personality. Plus, he's an enthusiastic and diligent worker. It's hard to imagine a guy like that being troubled by much.
How should I put it? Since he already plans to tell you himself, you don't need an old man like me to add my 2 cents. You seem to be around the same age, so you might have a lot in common. Perhaps you could help him talk things through. Consider it a favor to me.
If you have the time, maybe you can make a little flag for us to wave about. It can say, "We provide aid in spades." Couldn't hurt to advertise our services, right?
Well, I can certainly arrange that. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
Wait, seriously? Paimon was just joking, but if you're going to get us something. She'd much rather have winter melon cake instead.
Seems like Gaming really has rubbed off on you. Would you like some more tea? I think there's some left.
No thanks. We came all this way and still haven't gotten a chance to look around the wharf. We should see the kinds of kites they got. Maybe they'll have ones you can't find in Liyue Harbor.
All right then. Please do let me know if you'd like more tea. You're welcome to stay as long as you like.
いいなぁ。なんか曲もいいし、のんびりしてていいね、ここね。3週間ぐらい泊まりたい。
Gaming is a good kid. I just wish he could reconcile with his family. You're around the same age, so he might listen to you. Please talk things through with him.
OK。ということで、8時になりましたので、今日はね、この辺にしたいと思います。で、残りの海灯祭のストーリーは、そのままやっちゃおうかなと思ってます、裏で。というのもですね、どうだろうな。なぜかというと、来週からですね、私、ベトナムに個展をしに行くので、なのでちょっとね、配信の時間がね、取れるかちょっとわからないっていうのがありまして、なんでね、もともとのね、予定は、関羽の伝説任務だったんで、それは今日終わったんでね、海灯祭に関しては残りは、裏でやっちゃっていいかなとは思ってますと。はい。ということで、本日はありがとうございました。この辺でね、ちょっと終わりにしたいなと思っております。めちゃくちゃ伝説任務泣いたしね。めっちゃ良かったね。なんかフリーナも良かったし、ナビアも良かったけど、こういう、カンのママみも良かったね。本当にストーリーめちゃくちゃ良かったなーって思いました。はい。なのでね、この辺にしたいなと思います。ということで、本日も皆さんありがとうございました。またね、遊びに来ていただけたら嬉しいなと思います。本のね、要約とかそういう系はまたちょっとね、古典が一旦落ち着いたら、また本読み続けたいんでね、そういう配信の機会も持てたらなというふうに思っております。その原神の配信とかもね、個人的に楽しんでやってるんで、また皆さんに遊びに来ていただけたらなと思っていますし、ストーリーとかね、こういうのを見ることで、螺旋配信だけじゃわからないね、こういう原神のストーリーとかね、ムービーの良さっていうのもね、ちょっと皆さんにお伝えできたらなと思っていますし、英語版をやってるっていうので、その日本語版やってる皆さんのね、違いとかもいろいろ見つけていただけたらなと思っておりますので、ということでね、本日はこの辺にしたいなと思っております。はい。では皆さん本日もありがとうございました。今日もね、良い一日をお過ごしいただければなと思っております。で、ベトナムにいる時にね、できれば配信またしたいなと思ってるので、ちょっと Wi-Fi のね、環境がちょっとわかんないんですけれども、状態がね、配信に耐えることを祈って、で、私2月16日が誕生日なんですけれども、先立ってAmazon の欲しいものリストを初めて出したんですけれども、皆さんね、本当にお気遣いいただいて、たくさんプレゼントを送っていただきまして、本当にありがとうございます。もうね、サイレントで初めて出したら、サイレントでこんなに置き配にしてるっていうのもあるんですけどね、サイレントでどんどん送られてきて、もうめっちゃくちゃびっくりしてるんですけれども、本当に皆さんのお気遣いのおかげでね、もう私の誕生日とクリスマスが一気に来たような感じになってて、もう本当にとっても嬉しいですっていう、感謝も込めてね、16日搬入なんですけども、搬入終わってね、ちょっとベトナム時差2時間ありますので、皆さんがちょっと寝る前の時間ぐらいには、ちょろっとね、配信できたらいいなっていうふうに思ってます。YouTube でやりたいんですけど、もしちょっと厳しければ、インスタライブとかでやろうかなっていうふうに思ってるんで、またそれは、X の方でね、告知したいなと思いますので、よろしくお願いいたします。ということでね、はい、皆さん本日も良い一日をお過ごしください。ありがとうございました。バイバーイ。